That's a great thing. I love that. So what is this? Well, like, I've been covering He-Man and the Master of the Universe live action for God knows how long. It's been years now. This thing's been gestating for years, and I've covered it so often. Yeah, it's a never-ending story. But the never-ending story continues, of course, and now they're in talks with Amazon.
Yeah.
So straight off the bat, without knowing anything, what do you think of that news, Culture?
Okay, so knowing what I know on the background of this because of how passionate Tom has been about it, I will say this. This thing has been in production hell forever.
Oh yeah,
it hasn't moved forward at all. It
I mean,
hasn't moved.
Netflix spent $60 million on it and then scrapped it.
Yeah,
$30 for the rights, $30 million to develop, and then they just scrapped it.
and they ditched it. And it's like this is the definition of production hell. And this is a cartoon. Normally these horror stories are reserved for live action cinema, not
No,
animation.
this will be live action. That's the thing.
Oh, I thought it
So
was
it will be live action.
I thought it was
But
still the animated bit. No?
no, so this is still going to be a live action. But the thing is,
Oh.
this isn't difficult to get right anyway. You're right. Like, to compare it to a cartoon, it is a bloody cartoon. It's not difficult to get right. So let's take a look at this report, and it will remind us of some bits and pieces. So it's funny, Variety. I like their snidiness at the moment. So in Master of the
Oh.
Universe, He-Man's nemesis is the evil wizard Skeletor. In Hollywood, his greatest threat has been a list of studio partners that have sidelined him from the big screen for nearly 2 decades. True story.
Yeah.
The blonde barbarian, based on a popular set of Mattel toys, may finally win the day. Amazon MGM Studios is in serious talks to mount a live-action Master of the Universe movie from Adam and Aaron Nee, the writing and directing team behind The Lost City. According to multiple insiders, conversations are taking place with Amazon after Netflix dropped a planned
Okay.
version of the Nee brothers film in July. Now, this is what's interesting, is that the Nee brothers are still attached to it somehow. They must have some option with it, even though
Yeah.
the option is still around anyway for other people as well. It's all over the place. But you wanted to say something, Culture. Sorry.
No, just that's good news with the knees because Lost City is pretty good and
I
I
didn't. Never saw it. Never saw it.
yeah, I
Um,
feel like this could be a win.
well, I mean, it must be because they're attached to it non-stop, it seems.
Yeah.
But it says here Netflix spent nearly 30 million in development costs over 2 years and 30 million for the rights, by the way, guys. Which was meant to star Kyle Allen. And the streamer walked away when the tentpole's budget, originally set for more than $200 million, could not be meaningfully reduced. Now, I've gone on record and said this doesn't need to be $200 million. You could do this for
Yeah.
$100 million. You can
Yeah.
absolutely. You do 2 set pieces, 3 generally. You do 3 locations: Grayskull, the Palace, and then general world of Eternia. But
Right.
that could be done in a desert. It's not that difficult.
Yeah.
This is not a hard film to get right. It doesn't have to have a $200 million budget. It can be super basic. He-Man comes out and saves the day from Skeletor. Boom, wham, bam. Thank you, man. I don't understand why they want a $200 million budget to begin with. It's so strange. Now, this is what's interesting, right? So they say the Amazon talks are tenuous. Another source cautions, but should the studio advance, it will need to close new deals with the needs for a script polish and to direct. So why are they still? How do they have an option then? Do they have an option? Why are they attached? What's going on? Doesn't really make any sense. Alan is still in the mix to star as He-Man. He's a weedy little guy, so all right. Mattel and producer Todd Black, who's been devoted to the film across multiple former studio homes, including Warner Brothers and Sony, will also be seeking a significant theatrical release, something that was not quite on the table at Netflix, which is good. That's good. I'm glad that they'll do a theatrical release. But this is the really interesting part. So we talk about the rights. So the rights to the Master of the Universe are tangled all over the place. So DreamWorks Animation has the rights. Okay, and that was a deal that said Mattel could exploit Masters characters for filmed adaptation through 2026. So 2 sources say, as DreamWorks Animations is now owned by NBC Universal, this means the conglomerate could interfere, with any potential sequels that Amazon MGM
Wow.
want to develop. So they need to make a new deal. Basically, they need to have an extension of the rights. Sources say, but it's strange. I don't understand why are the Neat brothers so intertwined in it for some weird reason. The rights are all over the place. You've only got essentially 2 more years, realistically, probably 1 year actually, because they're not going to get this released in 2024. It's going to be 2025. What a shit show. But is Amazon and MGM the best place for it? They've done some good stuff, but they've also done some terrible stuff. So I
Oh,
don't know.
yeah.
Thoughts?
I I'm gonna go on record and say I'll be surprised if it gets made because it's been such a hot mess. And
Yeah.
if they're gonna invest a couple $100 million in this and they can't extend the rights, then it's kind of a one and done maybe for them. And I don't know how thrilled they're gonna be about that. So
Yeah.
what a mess.
Isn't it? Why do you think the Need brothers are so heavily involved then if they have to be re-optioned for it all?
Would it
New
be a
deals?
could it be that they're tied to it contractually through maybe their concept? Maybe
Yeah,
the
but then you
story?
then you just bin off their concept, wouldn't you? See
I
what I mean?
guess.
You just bin their concept off. I mean, they even need to do a script polish and get a new, make a new deal for them to do the script polish, or is it a spec script on behalf of Mattel, which Amazon is trying to purchase, and then they've got to re-option them? Is that maybe?
Maybe. I
Isn't it?
mean,
It is weird, isn't it? It is kind of all over the place. Not just me. Like, it is a bit odd.
yeah. I'm trying to figure it out. I mean, they have to be maybe they're invested at a producerial level
Yeah, maybe.
and it's cheaper to keep them. I don't know, but it's awfully odd. So, I think man, I think this is an opportunity, but like you said, Amazon's like 50-50 on what they do. At least they'd get it made, maybe. I still don't think it's going to get made. It's still a mess.
My dog's gone. He's decided to leave.
Oh,
I know.
all right.
Bugger. Bless him.
Bye.
Yeah, I don't understand. I mean, Amazon are so 50-50. They're so like,
Yeah.
yeah, they're all over the place. Amazon are all over the place. But there's no way this needs a $200 million budget, for goodness sake. Like,
No.
$200 million is insanity. Like, actual insanity for that. No need for $200 million. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Anyway, do you want this? There's the other question. Do you want a Amazon
No.
MGM? You say no.
Well, no, I mean, I'd love to see it. The problem is, do I want anything made right now from my childhood or from my siblings'
Yeah, this
childhood in
is
this
true.
case?
Yeah.
And I would hate for like my youngest brother, he'd be heartbroken. This would break his little heart because
Well, I said,
if they do it wrong,
yeah. I mean, I did a video earlier, and I said in that video is that whenever these things take ages, it's always because there's an attempt to shove an agenda into something which doesn't naturally
doesn't
fit.
fit.
So, like Blade,
Yeah.
for instance, Blade was in development hell because they were literally randomly telling a story about a bunch of women and life lessons, and Blade was in it tangentially. This shouldn't be, Conan shouldn't be difficult to get right either. These very basic, simplistic ideas become and fall into development hell because of attempts to repurpose and repackage them for an agenda. So my main concern here is that that's what they're probably trying to do with He-Man as well, because otherwise, why else would it be in such a simplistic idea languishing in development hell?
Because they tried to make it overly complicated, or somebody did. I mean, Netflix did have, a pretty strong contingent of activist producers there for a while that had unlimited funding, it seems.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
they seem
Well,
to have
they're trying to
removed
come out. They need to change that now, though. So
yeah, they seem to have removed many of them. So I don't know, Nate. I don't know. Let's see. I mean, I think people are out there shooting chats. We got super chats on it. I don't know that I don't know that I don't know I trust anybody right now to make anything, to be fair.
It's true. We had Bayona Rad, sorry, for £5. Says, remember Amazon
Mm.
scraps to do Conan the Barbarian, why they want He-Man. That is true, because they did. Conan the Barbarian was going to be pretty hardcore with Amazon as well, and then they came in and scrapped it. So you are right, actually. You are
Jeez.
right there. And Israel R for $10 says, as a fan of OG He-Man, I think it's better they scrap this project for now, in my opinion. The brand has been ruined,
Oh
including
yeah.
She-Ra. Yep. Who would this be for? Thoughts? Excited for G-Man, though. Yeah, well, who would this be for? I mean, that's the thing. But you said you said you like the Knee Brothers.
Yeah.
Well, come on,
I
defend them
think
then.
well no, I look if they were able to keep the agenda out of it, which may have been what kept this thing in hell over at Netflix. You don't know. I don't know. But that could have
Yeah,
been it. And then, you know, they're so invested in it and doing it right that maybe that's the kind of willpower it takes to get something done of quality,
true. That
you
is
know?
true. That is very, very true. Well, there you go.
Yeah,
There you go, guys. There you go. What do we
there you
think?
go.
I don't know.